Welcome to the Real Talk edition, career edition with me, Sindi Matlaila. Today we have our guest, Sinesipho. Her journey started off at schematas, if I'm correct, and led
That
her into fascinating world of food science. She's a food scientist, working as a food scientist. Also, she's busy with her master's at UP. Am I correct?
that's
Uh,
correct.
that's nice. Before we start, I just want to say thanks a lot for um, allowing me to invite you to being our first guest here. I mean, it's the first time we're trying this out. We don't know how it'll end up, but you still
Mm.
availed yourself. So that means a lot to me. Um, Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very, oh my God. I didn't expect the message when you sent it to me. I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
yeah,
Let's do this.
yeah. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot for the support. Yeah, let's do it and see how it'll go. Uh, Before we start anything, do you mind giving us a quick introduction of who you are, so that our viewers can know a little bit about you and also what led you to food science and everything?
Okay. So, as Cindy have said, my name is Sinesipho Galata, born in the Eastern Cape, a very small town in Molteno. It's very cold. After finishing my matric, went to schematis. Schematis is where you are given a second chance to upgrade your matric results, right? So I went there to upgrade my mathematics and physics. While we were doing that, we got introduced to like different careers, and then they mentioned food science, and I was like, "What is that?" So when they explained to me, I was like, "I see myself here. This is me." Because my mom used to tell me that I was very picky with my food and how my food is being served with, like, to me. Is it like in a clean plate? Is the spoon clean? Like, I will always want to make sure that it's very clean, right? So like,
Mm,
this is me. Let me try. And I fell in love with it. And now I
mm.
am currently working one of the big companies in South Africa as a food scientist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's a very nice story, Sine. Like from schematics to working to one of the food brand companies in the country. That's a
Mm.
very big achievement.
Yeah, and I've never saw myself working for them because I always thought, you see, when you're from a small town, like you're a small
Mm,
town girl, sometimes your imagination can be limited, right?
that's
So I
true.
think that I would be here today, but I'm here and
Yeah,
I'm happy that I'm here because this means that even if you're from very small town, you can achieve a lot.
yeah, that's definitely got there. Yeah. Okay. I want us to just break everything piece by piece so that everyone can understand and follow. So,
Okay.
schematics, you did give a quick explanation of what it is, but for
Mhm.
someone who has never heard of it before, they it's the first time they hear the word. Can you maybe give a deep explanation as if you're explaining to like a grade R person? They've never
Okay.
heard of the word. Yeah.
I'll try my best to explain. So schematus, it's spelled as SCIMATHUS. So the SCI means is science, right? And then the
Oh,
MTH is math, and then US meaning Stellenbosch University.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So after matric, if you need to pass with a bachelor's degree, right?
Okay.
And spent average, excluding life orientation, and then your mathematics and physical sciences are the ones that needs to be at least 45%. So
Okay.
nothing, and then everything else also need to be good. So there you are given a chance to rewrite your mathematics and physical sciences. And you are also taught academic writing, computer literacy, and I can't remember the other thing. I think it was English,
Okay.
but it was like academic English, right?
Mm.
Um, Helped me a lot because I was where I went in high school, we didn't have computers. So it was my first time being exposed to computers. It was my
Yeah.
first time learning like switch on a computer, do this on a computer and right. And
Mm.
then offered at Stellenbosch University, there's a residence for schematic students who are like coming from far.
Mm-hmm.
So those who are coming from far are prioritized first for accommodation, the last time I checked. And then during the year, you get to attend classes as like you're a university student. You do
Yeah.
projects, you are also a university student. So it's like a preparation for
For
you to like,
varsity.
yeah, for varsity. And then towards the end of, no, not the end of the year, sorry, like when the applications are open, then you are helped to apply, but they will first have a session where they tell you about different careers, but it's mostly careers from Stellenbosch. But
Okay.
so you are not forced to be a Stellenbosch student
Oh,
after the program.
yeah.
You can apply wherever you want, but they will help you to apply within Stellenbosch University. Also, your marks speaks for you. You are playing for from schematas. It doesn't really mean that you will get in. So your
Okay.
marks speak for you, yes. So I did that program. My marks for physics were very low, but when I was done with the program, like I had passed.
That's the main
But
goal.
because the teachers there, they are very good. Like they like sit with you, explain concept with you, and make sure that you understand.
Mm.
That is schematics.
Yeah, that's definitely a very great program. I mean, to even get
Hmm.
students ready for varsity. Just a quick question for
Hmm.
someone who doesn't know in terms of finances, do you automatically get a bursary? Does Stellenbosch University pay for you? What's happening there?
Um, I'm not really sure with the funding, but for me, when I got schematas, though I got schematas because there was funding from home. So I had applied
Mm.
for the bursary from back home. So they paid for my
Oh,
schematic study. And
yeah.
then yeah. And they also like in partnership, they were in partnership with schematas. That's how I got to know of schematas as well.
Yeah.
But I think their fees are very like affordable
Mm.
because I know some of the students there they were paying from their pockets. Um, they didn't have bursaries, but some did have bursaries, and it was bursaries or funders that were in partnership with schematas.
With the program. Yeah.
The pro Yeah.
Okay, so just to give a quick summary, basically you have to make sure that in matric you passed with
With
bachelor
a pass, yes.
and your maths and physics are above,
Me
or minimum is
45
45? Okay, okay. Yeah.
level.
Then that is level 3.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Okay, makes sense now. And I hope our viewers got
Yeah,
clarity of what the
oh,
program is.
and your English need English or Afrikaans,
Mm-hmm.
whether language or first additional language, it needs to be above 60%.
Oh, that is level 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they don't include LO when they're calculating your basically it's like you're applying for varsity even there when we
Yeah,
think about it. Mm.
because there are requirements that you actually need to meet before getting into
Yes. So
the program.
if yes, yes, yes. And for students who did their matric in 2024 and 2025, they will be the ones who qualify for the 2026 cohort. If you did your matric 2 years, like um, what is the word that I want to use? Like 3, 4 years ago, then you can't
Mm.
go for matters.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sure. That was very um educative. And yeah, we do appreciate the knowledge that you just shared. So, am I correct to say that during that program, that is when you discovered about food science and that's when you decided to go study it? Yeah.
Yes, that's when I discovered food science during the program because they had a career day. So all
Mm.
the talent faculties and departments they came and told us what they offer, and then they told us about food science, and I was sold. From wanting to be a doctor to now a food
To know food
scientist.
science. Yeah,
It,
that's a very big step, hey?
and and I feel like me wanting to be a doctor, it was just peer pressure and pressure from my teachers because in high school I was one of the good students, right?
Mm.
So it was not something that I really wanted to
That
do
you
for myself.
wanted. Yeah.
About is, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that I found science.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes we, especially in high school, we get that pressure to say, no, I think you should study this thing. But people then they don't actually ask you what are you actually interested in, or what is it that you would like to study.
Yes,
Um,
and in scheme, I forgot to mention that they also do like a psychometric test to help you decide on like what you want to be. And the results were pretty accurate for me. So that's why I was like, food science, it is.
it was definitely it.
Mm,
Yeah. So then like your whole degree journey, how was it? How did you find studying food science? Like everything
mm.
that you discovered throughout like your journey of studying, the modules. How was your whole journey? Like what is it that you learned during that period that definitely today you are using it at your work?
Uh, when I started, oh, schematas, I'm going back to schematas. I have because I was taught to like build connections with people, and that helped me throughout my varsity journey. Building connections, having relationships with people, asking questions. Because when I started in my first year, it was very easy for me to like build connections with people.
Hmm.
And that helped because like I would also find people who are my seniors in res, or even like when they are coming out from class and then we are going in, I would note and then go to them and ask, oh, I have a problem like this. Can you help me with this? Where can I find this? And also to build a relationship with your lecturers as well. That's what helped me.
Yeah.
Still even use it today. I always emphasize the power of like having a community. Like that
Yeah.
is one thing I always talk about, that community is very important. It's gonna take you very far.
That's
It's gonna
true.
take, and you
And
need to have an eye of people that you want in your life. And don't just have connections with people just for the sake of having connections. You need to know why you're doing it
mhm,
and how are you going to go about it.
that's true. That's true. And if I remember correctly, you were also in leadership
Yes.
positions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a shy person, but I also like put myself out there because I want to know what is out there.
that's true.
And I want to know what other people think. So I like putting myself out there. That's why I held quite a number of leadership positions while I was still in school.
Mm. That's
Mm,
very great. So throughout your varsity, you actually learn relationship building. That is
mm,
what is important, and it's also helping you today in your day-to-day life as a food
I did.
scientist. Yes. So
Mm,
if we go back to varsity now, obviously you
mm,
did different modules. You learned
yeah.
different principles, different methods. You
Mm,
gained a lot of information, and not all that information, I'm sure you're not using all of it, but then there's some that you are currently using, if I'm correct. So is there like a
yeah.
specific module or a principle that you remember from varsity that you are still applying now at your workplace?
At my workplace, it has to be food microbiology or just microbiology in general because we are very good, like want to focus on food safety, and we
Mm,
want to make sure that we produce products that are safe for consumption because most of the products that we make are for people, right? So you
mm,
want to make sure that their health is at the top, their health is at the top of our list. And then with my current job, another module that I am using is sensory science. So it's where you evaluate customer preferences based on like their taste, right? That's one thing that I use. But then everything else is completely different. I didn't do any of the things that I'm currently doing in school. I'm learning most of the things on the job.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
And I think it's something that actually happens to a lot of people. You learn a
Yes.
lot of things on your job. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, what you learned in varsity is there and there. And I think which goes back to what you said earlier on relationship building. Obviously, if you know how to build good relationship, it will also I mean, it will also make things easy for you to gain new information from your senior colleagues and everyone in the company.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
And like
mhm.
you need to also ask questions because even your colleagues, they won't really know what you're struggling with. So if you don't speak up, Jay, it's not gonna help in
Yeah,
any way.
that's true.
Ask.
Yeah. So if we go back a little bit, for someone who doesn't know, it's first time they're hearing
Mhm.
about food science, a food scientist, how would you describe to them what is food science, what is meant to be a food scientist, what is it that you're
Most
doing in your day-to-day
that
basis.
okay. So most people, when you say you're a food scientist or you're studying food science, they will think that you cook. We don't cook. I hate to break it to you like that. We don't cook. I think culinary science is where people cook. So with
Oh,
food science, more on like the production of the food that we
hmm.
cook, and also like it's new product development, it's packaging, it's making sure that the quality of the products is good. So food science is mostly more on like manufacturing and coming up with new products that we see on the market and not necessarily cook them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, you are what is it that I had in mind now? You are developing or inventing new
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yes. And also making sure that they are sustainable.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And food security as well, a
Yeah.
bit they as well. Yeah.
So that means you're also in the lab most of the time.
Yes.
Okay. So for you, let's say on a normal morning at work or on a
Mhm.
normal day, what is it that you're doing? Do you go to the lab? Then you go to the plant? What's really
Yeah,
happening?
I'm mostly in the lab. Um, so I mostly deal with the end product
Okay.
currently, right? But there are people who are also food scientists who deal with the process or the receiving of raw material. Um, and then if you go to the plant, you just go there to check if are they still following the processing
Mm.
um, flow, the process flow. Is everything fine? How is the
Mm.
quality? Yes, and then also in the lab, you also check the quality of the product because I'm in milling, so we
Mm.
don't really do much. We mostly focus on the end product. Is it good quality? Is it safe for consumption? Um, if you look at this product as a customer, how would you feel? Would you take it as it is, or you would rather choose a competitor, things like that.
Yeah.
And I also run projects to make sure that we like our quality is good.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I mean, you're in the lab, then you go to the plant to check that what you have in the lab is being implemented correctly on a larger scale, and that security
Yeah.
safety is still being applied. Yeah,
Mm.
we're learning a lot today. So currently, what's one thing that challenged you or really surprised you when you started working?
Ooh. I have to think hard about this. Oh, it was how fast things move. Because now you are producing a product for like the whole country. So everything has to move fast,
Yeah.
right? So that surprised me, because now you are working under pressure. You are
Mm.
not only producing maybe 10. So if you only make 10 products, you have to like you have more time to look into them, right? But now
Yeah.
producing for like a high scale, it's very difficult. Everything has to move like fast.
So there's
Everything is
time
moving
pressure.
fast. And also like yeah, there was pressure, the learning also because it was a new environment for me.
Mm,
I've never been in a mill, so everything was just fast and strange. But now I'm absorbing all of it,
yeah.
and I think I'm getting there. Yeah.
How, how did you handle that?
I crashed out at first, but I had to pick myself up and and have more conversations with my manager and ask questions. And she
Mm,
was very welcoming
yeah,
to like telling me things. And she also integrated me with another department to all like that links to what we do to be with them and also ask questions there as well.
yeah. So just having those conversations really help you to understand why there's always
Mm,
time pressure and also how to navigate through everything.
yes.
Yeah, that's very insightful. So now when it comes to your wins, obviously you had challenges, and obviously when you're facing challenges, sometimes you'll ask yourself if are you in the right space? Can you really do it? But I'm sure there are also moments or big wins in your workspace where you were like, you know what? Yeah, this is for me. That moment that will just be there
Yeah.
to reassure you. Do you have that
Mm.
moment?
I do. I do. I have quite a few actually. I was asked to do something, right? It was
Mm,
just for my side. And then the next thing, it's big. I see it in like trainings. I'm like, oh, okay. This means I'm capable.
yeah.
I like I didn't think it would go that far, but it did, and I'm happy that it did.
Mm,
And it made me feel about myself, and it reminded me that I am capable and I'm in the right path.
that's actually true. Yeah.
Mm.
That's great to always have those moments. I mean, I feel like those are the moments that kind of give you motivation on Monday.
Yes.
uh,
And
yeah,
keep
yeah.
on. Oh,
Can you say that
I
again?
want to do. I was saying that it like wants me to keep on doing more
Mm, mm.
and
That's,
enjoy what I'm
yeah, this this very nice. Um,
doing.
so currently, do you have like your favorite food that you
Mm.
have worked on that I can find in the
Um,
shelves
my favorite food that I
that you have worked on?
oh no, I don't. I'm just hoping that someone somewhere would, if I don't do it myself,
Mm,
buys the our product brief for NPD that we did in fourth year
yeah,
in Stellenbosch. Yeah. I have ideas. Maybe we'll see my food somewhere one day.
yeah, hopefully. And
Can I tell you a funny story?
yeah,
I used to create a phone that looks like a banana. Maybe I can make food from banana. I don't know.
you love banana.
Maybe I'll do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
a phone from banana. That's a very nice
Yes.
idea. Sure. Okay, Sina, I think we're running out of time. So just wrapping up everything, what career advice would you give to someone in high school? They just heard about food science now. They want to study it. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
someone in varsity, they're studying food science. And obviously they had few questions there and there. They were not sure where they're gonna end up after studying food science. And yeah, or maybe someone is already a student. Now that you spoke about food science, they want to change from their stream to food science. So, yeah, what advice would you give those people who basically they want to be like you?
I would say to those who are in high school, read about it. And if you are from like a town or an area where there is a food manufacturing environment, go there and ask to like, it's basically like job shadowing. I think
Mm,
it's called that. Go there and ask to see how everything is done. And then you decide from there if this is really what you want to do. And then those who are in varsity attend those events that that the department or the faculty organizes for students.
yeah.
Attend those events. Be active on LinkedIn. Post about anything and everything that you can think of. Like that is based on like your career, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then again, community, build community. Also, by you attending those events, you're gonna meet different people from different industries.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions, ask them to be like mentors. Then I think you'll be good because that's literally what I did, and it worked for me.
Yeah, and see where you are in today. You're working for one of the biggest brands. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
big achievement. Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
Okay, cool. I think we're just having 1 minute left. But before we close this up, can you maybe please give us three advices as a food scientist? I know you always talk about fridges, that we don't clean our fridges.
And I'm always on your necks. Please clean your guys. That's number one. And then
Yeah.
number two, read your food labels. Everything that you need to know about your product is there. And make sure that you learn your product and you know your product so that you can see when something is wrong, right?
Mm,
And then food safety, not if food safety is also like at home, like I said, clean your fridge.
mm,
Practice FIFO, which is first in, out. Don't keep things for too long. And for your safety, before you eat things that are expired, which I don't encourage, check if they are fine. Smell them. Check if there's any color difference or anything that might be wrong with the food product. So it's very important for you to like learn your product and know how it is. Like
mm.
especially the like the brands that you love so that you can three advices as a food scientist.
Yes.
Yeah, and I said that clean your fridge, please. Please clean your fridge. Because microorganisms do not have a rest day, hey? Even if you feel tired and your fridge is dirty, they're still like brewing in there. And then
How often should we
um,
clean it?
at least once a month. Yeah.
Once a month.
Wait, make sure, yeah. Make sure when you like restock your fridge, you clean it first before you put new food
Good.
products inside.
Okay.
Mhm. And then also read your food labels. Read your food labels because everything that you need to know about the product is on your food label. And familiarize yourself with the products that you eat. Know how it looks like so that
Mm.
when there's something wrong or when there's a change suddenly onto the product, you can tell, right? And then also at home, practice the FIFO, which is first in, first out. So the products that you buy first, you should
Mm-hmm.
use them first, and the ones that you
Oh,
the ones that you're supposed to use them last, right? And
yeah.
then check the expiry dates as well. Yeah, and
Sure.
I
Yes.
like I don't advise people to eat food that are like outside the dates. Even though I explained on my series the different kinds of dates, right? Sometimes a food product can be out of the expiry date, but it's still fine. But
Yeah.
before you eat it, make sure the smell is still fine, the color is still fine. There's no any off thing that is going on.